guys? Welcome back to Mission Accomplished. My name is Michelle.
I'm Garrett, and today we're going to talk about one main topic. Surprise, we're moving.
Surprise! Woo!
Sound effect.
Yeah. We're moving!
Oh, yeah.
So that moving is exciting to us because I think our use of space for the business has started to outgrow the space we have. So just so you guys know, we work out of our apartment.
We are increasing the space that we occupy, and we are really, really excited about this for a variety of reasons. So in today's episode, we're going to talk to you guys about why we're moving, where we're moving.
No, not where. You guys don't get to know where. Sorry. But why? And
okay, let me do
maybe
this.
how?
Let me do this.
This is all staying in the podcast.
No, let me do this. Okay.
Go for it.
So, you guys know we are recently engaged, and
Yay.
we're really, really excited because we are going to be moving into the first house we've lived in.
A real
together.
house.
A real house, guys. We're going to be documenting a bit of this experience for our YouTube channel, but we just wanted to come in and tell you guys on the podcast what's going on, because I feel like we get to have this really open and constant dialogue with y'all over here every single week, and that is what has been occupying a lot of our life. And so today we're going to go into why we made the decision to move, what has motivated that, what we're looking forward to, some things that we're figuring out and working through, and along the way, even before we've moved, some advice that we can share with you guys who are moving, who are maybe moving during quarantine. We know a lot of people who have moved during quarantine, surprisingly, and what we're learning about, the safe way to do it and the best way to do it. So yeah, let's dive in.
Now let's talk about the cool stuff. So things that you're most excited about for the new place.
Oh my God, I'm so excited about our new place, guys. We really found a needle in a haystack with this house.
Give me exact things that you were excited about.
Okay. Well, first of all, I feel like so many people have this dream of like one day living in a house, especially when you're in New York or LA. And the barrier to entry to live in a house is so high. And so I'm just really looking forward to it because it's been a long time goal to live in a house. And I'm really, really excited about it. Specific qualities that I'm really excited about. And we'll get into this when we tell you guys the story of how we found the house. But I'm really excited because it is the exact style we wanted. It was like our dream style of home. There's a pool. I'm freaking out.
We're excited about the pool. And a lot of our excitement is coming from so right now we live in an apartment.
And we run our entire business out of this apartment. Everything happens.
So, in full transparency, we have 3 bedrooms, one being the one we sleep in. And then one is this room is the second room, which is
we are currently in
doing the podcast, which is also the same room that Michelle streams in, which is also the room that all of, like, if we do talking heads, or interviews, all the gear is in this room. This room is used for a lot of different things. Then we have the room upstairs directly above me, and that is where Michelle's computer is, my computer, and our editors stay. And that's the room that I stream in, and that's like extra office supplies, the printer, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So everything's kind of jammed into these 2 rooms, which aren't very large.
I will say we have made such great use of this space.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm really proud because our apartment is, I think, compared to an average situation, quite organized and detailed and very intentional with everything.
We're neat people.
We try to be. So we definitely utilize every ounce of space here, but what I think we had been realizing specifically in quarantine is that some of those like longer term dreams of maybe in a few years we'll have this thing have become more immediate. In quarantine, because we're filming more in our house rather than out in the world, we need more filming space. We also need more breathing space for ourselves. So something I'm really looking forward to at this place is we're going to have a guest house, y'all. And we are transforming the guest house into our office so that there is a full, clean separation of work and home. I also just want to address, like, I feel such immense privilege talking about these things, and I'm completely aware of it. And I think that makes it a little, I don't even know how to say this, but like, I recognize how special it is that we're getting to do this and how seriously I'm going to take it and how much I'm really looking forward to it and how grateful I am that we took this chance on the channel.
So normally we don't invest as much as we are into our, let's say, we do invest into our space, but when we realized we were going to spend probably at least another year in quarantine,
or
at
some form
home,
of quarantine,
locked in at home, we realized we should put more into the space that we're going to be working in and living in for the next year. So we decided, we'll invest a little bit more into those spaces. We thought about renting another location for work.
You mean like an office?
Like an office space for the channel. But at the end of the day, it was so much more expensive to rent a second place for business.
Y'all. Let me tell y'all.
the market for that's crazy. We didn't do it. We don't know. Instead, we thought it actually made more sense to find a home situation that could in-house everything all in one, and it was actually ended up being cheaper that way.
Yeah.
The guest house specifically is going to be entirely for
game changer.
Yeah, it's going to be huge just to have our editors have their own space, our own space to work that does not feel, because right now we wake up we get out of bed and then we take a step and we feel like we're in the office already because our kitchen is like the office kitchen in a way. And all of that stuff, even on the weekends, you just feel like you're at work all the time.
Yeah, and I mean, something we really took to heart when quarantine began was we immediately set boundaries, like even more so.
And we're pretty good at
reorganized the office, we reorganized the production space, but now we just want a little more separation. And then with that came, we don't have any outdoor space in our living situation.
That's what I was trying to say earlier. We're in an apartment and not on the ground floor. So and we don't even have a balcony. We have no way to.
I don't know how that happened. We don't have a balcony.
We don't have any way to be outside in our apartment. In a space that we rent.
In our home space.
Exactly. Yeah.
But this place has an outdoor area, a private pool, a balcony. There is a balcony, and a back porch. And, I recognize a lot of that isn't for work necessarily. But we're definitely really looking forward to being able to spend time outside, to eat dinner outside, to exercise outside, to literally just inhale natural air. I think that is going to be really, really wonderful.
We also just personally wanted to, and this is something Michelle strives for, is to create the best working environment for her employees, and providing this extra bit of space for the editors to work and really enjoy themselves more at work, I think is going to be really important for their continued happiness during this whole time.
Yeah, and granted, most people are working from home in our situation. The majority of people we collaborate with are working from home right now. But this will allow us to bring in maybe like 1 to 2 more people safely, and
just because now they're going to have their own space. Before, like right now, all of us are in one room. We can't have people over for that. It's not smart. It's not responsible. So this extra space will allow everyone, and again, by everyone we mean 1 to 2 people over, to have their own space where nobody feels nobody feels unsafe, or you're just not going to be around people. It's good. It's good.
And we're very sensitive to all of that, obviously. Other things I'm really looking forward to are the guest house actually has its own fully functioning kitchen. So everyone who is working with us will have their own designated kitchen space. It'll be like a little work kitchen. I'm really looking forward to, there's just so much to be excited about, and I'm looking forward to also just being in a space where we can grow into it. You know, we have a plan for pretty much every single room, but there's one room we don't have a plan for, and we're just like, maybe we'll just leave that empty and figure it out as we go, because that I don't know, it'll be sort of the first time we've lived in LA, I feel, and had true space. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, and we have space now, but we took on too many other endeavors. We started streaming, we started a podcast, we started all these things that ended up needing their own space. Basically, what happens, guys, is we shoot the podcast in this room, which you know is also the streaming room, and like I said, it's a bunch of other things, all packed into one, which means you don't see it on camera right now, but this room has so much film equipment and gear. Like, if you just tilt the camera a little bit to either side, you would see it just filled with shit. And here's the thing.
But it's organized. I do want to...
This room is not that organized. Don't kid yourself.
The closet is.
The house... I mean, look at it. I mean, okay, look. The house is generally clean. This room, it's a hot mess. So anytime we need to film the podcast, we have to completely redo and reset the room every time because it gets used.
It takes about an hour.
It takes an hour plus. Sometimes we have it's hard to schedule our day. Let's say if you have a Zoom conference or like a VidCon call, then the streaming, then the podcast. We have to buffer in an hour turnover to change the room every time, which really affects our day. That could be 2 to 3 hours of setting up time, all throughout the day that could have been used filming something or producing. Instead, it's filmed us moving stuff around. So we're hoping this space will allow us to be more efficient with our week, with our time, our scheduling, and hopefully get more content out. And honestly, a lot of this move is about, like, a lot of creators go through burnout, obviously, and we're trying to take care of mental health as much as possible, especially going into maybe many more months of quarantine. So we just want to be outfitted with the space necessary to feel like we can breathe and work without getting burnt out, because look, we have a lot of really awesome video ideas that we've been working on that we are so excited to like edit and show you guys, and we don't want to get burnt out doing that. So we're trying to take care of ourselves so that we never hit that point of burnout. And we've been really good at it so far. Michelle does this very well as a human being, and we want to continue that. And this is one of those ways that we are trying to continue that.
Yeah. Let's talk about how we decided to do this and the difficulty of all of that. We had entertained the idea of potentially moving a year ago when our lease was ending, and we looked at several places, and none of them for the amount more that we were going to pay really made that much of a difference, I would say, in terms of space or whatnot. It would basically be like we would move from this apartment to a house, but the total number of rooms or functional space would remain the same, but our rent would double. And so at that time, we decided to stay here. We really put our foot down and decided to just stay here and do the thing. And as we were approaching the second year in this apartment, and with everything in quarantine, I decided, I'll just go on Zillow and surf around, see what's going on. I didn't know until recently how many people go on Zillow and just look at houses. But apparently this feels like, I think it's everyone's like quiet guilty pleasure is just going on Zillow.
Michelle uses Zillow like a social media site. So instead of scrolling through Instagram, I mean, she does that too, but I'll often look over and I'll catch her on Zillow just looking at houses that we can't afford, and then she'll send me the link.
I have to dream.
I love it. I love that you dream. I'm a dreamer too, you know that. But it also sometimes is hard when you send me link after link after link and I open them and I'm like, we can't afford any of these things. Why are you sending them to me?
Anyways, so we were looking And we found, a couple places, and it had been a while since we'd gone to look at a place, probably like 9 months. So I was like, why don't we just go check out a couple places and see how we feel? And so we went, and this was the first house we looked at, and we knew pretty immediately that we wanted it. And we had this really unique situation, and I encourage you guys, if you're considering moving or need to move, especially during quarantine, we had this really unique situation where the house had been on the market for a really long time, and I think they were having difficulty finding a comparable person to occupy it, especially given COVID and everything. And actually, I've seen lots of people be able to successfully negotiate down rent when moving during quarantine. So if you're moving somewhere, definitely try to negotiate. I highly recommend it. I think you're completely warranted in doing so. And I think a lot of places are more flexible on that right now. So we had that going for us, but basically it was the first place we'd seen where it sort of hit all of the things of, this is in a neighborhood we love. It is in the right style that we really like. Obviously, it had been on the market for a while, so we had a little bit of negotiating power there. And then the guest house really, I feel like, set it in stone for us. Like that ability to have the work-life separation. And a lot of the places we looked at that do have guest houses were astronomically expensive, or the guest house was really tiny, so it wouldn't even work like an office,
or it was just the layout of it just didn't work or was weird.
And obviously we're being really picky, but we're also being really picky because it's expensive. I mean, rent in LA, it's expensive, and so you have to be picky if you're not only going to pay for that rent and security deposit, but also the moving costs and everything. So that's why we've been so picky. And it was wonderful going in here and just being like, oh my God, this checks all the boxes. And a special added bonus is that no one has lived here. It's a completely brand new place. And we are going to be the first people to live there, which is crazy. I mean, it just felt too magical.
It was one of the places that when we visited and walked around for the first time, it felt, you get that feeling that, we visited a lot of homes, and you'd walk around and be like, okay, maybe I could see our living space being here. Maybe we'd put the couch there, but like, I don't know. We walked into this place and immediately saw everything. And when I could just look into the kitchen and see like, I can see us cooking together in there, and look at the living room, and I see exactly where all the furniture is, and I see us hanging out there. It was that feeling that we got, that we just know, and we act on we get those feelings a lot, and we act on them, and that's when we know when to take risks in our lives.
Garrett and I will get like this, like almost like the Wonder Twins, like like sort of like telepathic feeling, and that's happened several times in a lot of different ways, but the energy of this was so big. It was like undeniable energy, and we've felt that a few times before for really big life decisions, and this was one of them.
Well, let's actually talk about that a little bit. So we as human beings both like to take risks, calculated risks.
You're better at that than I am.
No, you say that, but you do that too, and you have been doing that your whole life. A lot of your successes I would credit to those risks that you took. And so this is just, a little tangential, but whatever. I find it really fascinating. So both of us take risks a lot. Not a lot, but maybe more than most, and maybe very key moments and very big risks. And moving into this home is one of them, because financially it is more money than what we normally would invest into our home situation, just proportionately. So
let's be completely honest. It's expensive. There were definitely several days of deliberation of, if we do this, we have to adjust other parts of our spending, of our lifestyle. We may not be able to do some of these bigger projects we had planned for later in the year because they're so expensive, like YouTube Rewind 2020.
Whoa, don't say that. Got to give the people hope.
I know, but you know what I mean?
Are you taking away?
I'm not taking it away. I'm just saying you have to.
YouTube Rewind 2020, the musical, doesn't happen. Now we know why. Oh my God. This person over here. Man, I feel like I've been peeking this whole time and I didn't even realize. That's not good.
Okay.
Oopsies.
Yes. So we had like a serious conversation about it, and something I don't think people talk about enough in the social media space is when you see an influencer post like a sponsored post, or when we get a brand deal or something, sometimes we don't see the money for that until up to 3 months after the video goes live. And keep in mind that like that's when the video goes live. That's not even when we spent the money to make it.
Yeah, so to give you an example, if a video of ours takes about a month and a half, let's say, to pay for it, to start shooting it, get it edited, and then release, a month and a half. And then 3 months after that, you finally get paid. Imagine if you worked a job and, you know, your money only came in, your paycheck came in 4.5 months later. That's almost half a year before you get paid for something.
Third of a year, but sure.
Numbers. Yeah, so
like, for example, there was one brand deal we did where the discussion of like the initial outreach and touch base with the brand occurred, I'll say, in January of 1 year, and we did not receive payment for it until September of that year.
And look,
9 months.
We realize we're privileged.
Massive privilege.
Like we're not complaining about this, but I think we're just pointing out that spending money in our position is very strange, because money will come in, but you still can't let you can't just go into, we don't want to go into debt or let it hit zero. Like, it's a weird balancing act that we have to do at all times. So, it's
really bizarre when you are working in a field where you don't have, a biweekly paycheck.
And this isn't just YouTube or us. This is actually most freelancers, the way freelancing generally works.
Entertainment industry.
But even beyond that, freelancers, it takes a while to get paid.
So we were basically like, can we do this? Do we anticipate enough deals coming in the rest of the year? Obviously, financially, it's been really weird because of quarantine, and unpredictable. But I guess so is the internet. And there was just something within both of us where, like, I was so full of anxiety because I was like, I don't know if we should do this. I'm nervous. I mean, we're fine. But, like, you know what I mean? When you get that feeling
it's still
of,
a risk. It's there is definitely risk there. And to go back to what we were mentioning earlier, we can almost, if you map out our careers, journeys, lives, whatever, you can kind of pinpoint moments where things really changed, where things really took off, and they were all because of a very specific big risk that either one of us took. So that is just, I've always been a person who does that and just puts everything into that one leap of faith kind of moment, as long as I know that I can deliver. It's like, it sounds like you're gambling almost, but I'm not betting on, I hope the world just gives me a miracle. It's like, I'm betting on myself, or you're betting on yourself. Yeah. And when I know, okay, if I have to perform, I have to make this much money, or I have to do this to get it to happen, I know I can do that. I know I can bet on me to do that. So the risk doesn't feel as big if I'm betting on myself, if that makes sense. So that's kind of how I see some of the bigger risks. And this one for us is technically one of those big risks, but I think it's going to pay off because we're going to have more time, more efficiency in our schedule to make the content. We'll be burnt out less. We'll just, and again, being in quarantine for a year, it's going to be, I think, it's going to be really important for us to do that.
I was also inspired by Lauren Giraldo, who is another YouTuber and colleague of mine. She's amazing. She does a lot of lifestyle content. She actually made the choice to leave LA and move to Arizona and buy a home there. And I have just been watching her videos about her process and her choice to leave LA, and be in a new place and really invest in herself and her happiness, and just seeing how much, like, you can just see how much happiness and care and love that has brought her way. And it really brought to light to me, you know what, I can do this too. And while we are not leaving LA, I don't know, I just felt really inspired by her taking that leap of faith that we could do it too. So yeah, I mean, but let me tell y'all, I was so anxious, guys. I was like freaking out. I was so concerned. I mean, I was on the phone with my therapist. I was like, I don't know if this is the right choice. But what's crazy is that my heart was just like fully clear, fully like, this is the right choice. So I really hope it is. We're going to find out. We're going to find out very soon if this is the right thing to do. But another thing that happened that we couldn't have predicted was, like, a few days after we signed all the paperwork, we received like 3 emails in a row about potential opportunities for this fall.
You mean brand deals? For
brand deals, yes. And that sort of, I mean, I still don't know what's going to happen.
The significance of that is we both looked at each other. We're like, okay, should we sign the lease? Should we go through with this? Quarantine has been less brand deals overall because less people are advertising, because consumers have less money to spend right now. And our debate was, do we do this? Will we have enough brand deals to like make everything work? And we both looked at each other and knew, if we don't sign this lease, we know a week later, just because that's how the universe works, we're going to get all these brand deals and be like, oh man, I wish we would have signed it, and we wish we wouldn't have lost the house to somebody else. Well, it's funny because, yeah, we signed the lease, and then 3 brand deals came in, which that was great. That made us feel good. Not that we're taking all of them. We don't know what's happening with that, but just the fact that they are being offered now again all of a sudden was really reassuring.
Yeah, and this isn't a science. Like, I feel like other people who have purchased or rented huge assets like this may have different advice, and I don't know if our advice is the best, but
I'm not going to give advice on it.
Yeah, we're not giving advice. We're just telling you what happened to us.
We're telling you our experience. I will tell you what I'm most excited about. I'm excited that we're finally allowed to get a little dog.
Yeah!
We can't get a dog in our current apartment. It's just a no-go with the owners, with the lease. But this place, we can have a little pupster of our very own. So we're hoping to get a dog at some point. Probably we're going to wait a couple months.
I became a dog trainer.
Yeah, we think we're going to do something related to dog training. I think that would be really cool.
For the video.
I might even participate in it.
You better. I don't want to do this alone.
Yeah, I would like to. And I'm also obsessed with naming dogs after food items. So our little dog Biscuit is going to be a very well-trained pup.
I hope so.
Not saying he will be Biscuit. He could be Cheerio.
Cheerio?
We can name him anything food related as long as it's not Oreo, because sorry not to hate on people.
Corn cob?
Not to hate on people who have Oreo as their pet name.
But like everybody does.
But everyone's pet that's like, black and white, it's Oreo. We're not naming our pet Oreo. We will if it's a brand deal. So Oreo, if you're listening, hit us up. We're available.
A dog trainer sponsored by Oreo.
We name our dog Oreo. This is fantastic. And then we make an Instagram account for it. And this is how we pay the house.
Branded Instagram with Oreo.
This is actually a great time to talk about our sponsors of this week. Do I hear an ad alert? Whoa. Okay, Madeline, give us a cool transition. You know what's not unusual?
Usual Wines, baby. And we are grateful once again to Usual Wines for sponsoring today's podcast. Usual Wines, in case you didn't know, is this amazing website where you can go and buy wine online and have it delivered right to your door. And if you're stuck at home just like us, that is very nice, very convenient.
Each bottle is 6.3 ounces, a heavy pour, or about a glass and a half of wine. No more pouring wine down the sink when you don't want to finish a bottle. That is something that we have done. I apologize. And honestly, the portion sizes here this is accurate. I enjoy them.
Usual Wines are made from world-class AVAs in California, including Sonoma, Napa, and Santa Barbara. They are made with minimal intervention, 0 sugar, and 0 additives. Hello.
So, Michelle, tell me, did you know that in the U.S. there are over 60 additives allowed by law to be used in winemaking?
That's a lot.
I just learned this.
Yes. Usual doesn't use any chemical or sugar additives to enhance the flavors of or stability of their wine. They are truly a clean wine brand.
But Michelle, don't grapes have sugar?
Yes, absolutely. To clarify, all Usual Wines are produced using natural, sustainable grapes harvested every fall. These grapes are picked at optimal ripeness to ensure all sugar will be fermented completely until the wines are dry with no residual sugar. All that's left over is delicious, clean wine, and it is very good, we can say. So if you're interested in trying out Usual Wines, be sure to go to their website, www.usualwines.com, and use our discount code, WOO! Our discount code is MISSION, and with that, you can get $8 off your first order and enjoy your first glass on us. That is www.usualwines.com with our discount code, MISSION.
And we're back. That was a fantastic ad break. So, Michelle, let's keep talking about things that are exciting to us about this new place. I hear you are excited about the showers.
Yes. Well, one shower in particular.
One shower in particular, and why?
Okay, this shower, guys, let me tell y'all, it has a rain shower head. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Is that what... It's not called that. Are you just calling it a rain shower head?
I don't know what it's called, but it
just
simulates
on the
rain.
ceiling,
it's on
and
the
it's
ceiling,
just
and
wide.
it's like the circle thing. And
so it's just large.
It has like other shower heads in the shower.
It has
There's
more than one
rain,
shower head. Michelle's
There's
excited.
like a normal one. There's one that you can like move around, it's on a hose. And I believe there's a steam function.
I'm never gonna use that.
You say that now, and I know you're gonna I'm gonna see you come out of the bathroom one day. You're gonna open the door. It's gonna be like billows of steam erupting. You're like, so I use the steam function.
The steam thing, pretty sweet.
I hope I remember that right. I don't remember exactly.
I'm excited that we each will have our own stream room that we can't hear each other, because right now on stream, Michelle likes to yell a lot. I also yell a lot. And we can hear each other in the background of each other's streams, which is hilarious, but also after a while, it's not good. So that's going to be taken care of. Oh, here's the big one. Guys, right now, for reasons that are too annoying to explain, we do not have the ability to hardwire our internet. So we have no Ethernet. We're not running off of Ethernet cables into, we're not hardwiring. So we're all on Wi-Fi connection, which means our streams are shitty. They're not shitty. The stream lag sometimes is bad. They could be better. We're always striving to be better here. So I'm excited to have our internet speed as high as we're paying for, you know? Yeah. So that's exciting, which means better stream quality, faster uploads to Google Drive when we're transferring footage for our editors. So this is frustrating to me. The bathroom in our bedroom does not have a good Wi-Fi signal. So every time I am on the toilet on Instagram, my phone won't load.
What?
And I have to switch it off Wi-Fi and use my cell service to use my phone while I'm on the pooper. And here's the thing about that. I know that sounds like this is a first world problem, and it is. Everything about it is stupid, but it's real.
Okay. Why don't we talk about the Challenge Accepted episode we're trying to make?
Oh, that's a better conversation. Let's talk about that. So we're making a Challenge Accepted episode probably about this whole thing. Michelle, take it away.
So what we want to do in this episode is, if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know that I think I want to say like 2 years ago I did a video about moving, this is so crazy, from my studio apartment into another apartment. And we worked with
That was not a studio apartment.
That was not a studio apartment. There were bedrooms.
Bedrooms.
Yes. And we worked with a professional organizer who helped me learn how to organize my life and purge a lot of items in my studio apartment before moving to the new one. And so sort of in that same vein, we want to do something because that video was so many people found that video really helpful on learning how to like professionally organize your life and whatnot. We want to do something similar with this move where we showcase how we're packing, how we're moving, and of course, how we're going to decorate the new place. So we're currently trying to find an interior decorator, interior designer to help us really elevate things to the next level and hopefully also educate us on like, I don't even know. It's sort of like an art form. You know, it is an art form.
Well,
I don't know how
to be clear, it's
plan
less
a room.
It's less about us moving and the process of us moving,
Right.
but more about having an interior designer and designing a room and using colors and shapes of furniture to create a certain feel or look to a space.
Or functionality.
Functionality is big for us, especially the studio or the guest house, which will be the studio, editing bay, etc. And making those spaces the most that they can be. So you're getting the most out of what you're paying for. So that's what the episode's going to be centered on, which we're really excited about.
You know, if there are any interior decorator designers that y'all know in the LA area that you think would be good for us to work with, let us know. We are still searching for one currently and just really excited about it because I feel like anytime we work with a professional, we always learn so much. I mean, that organization video really transformed my life. Working with Ashley Stanfield, who is a professional organizer, really showed me so much about how much physical baggage I was carrying in my life. Like, there was stuff in my apartment that I had since middle school and high school that I never used, but I felt like an emotional connection that I had to have it. And then once I finally got rid of all of these little things that were sort of clogging up my everyday life, I had not only had so much more physical space, but also emotional space. It cleared everything out. And now I can't even name any of those items that I got rid of. And now I just have this monthly practice of purging things out of the closet and all the other rooms and really like centering around that same gut feeling that you and I both have and applying that to items in my life and letting go of the things that I don't need and that don't serve me.
Yeah. I think as we continue the process of moving and designing the new place, we'll keep you guys updated on the podcast. But what I want to do to wrap this episode up, it's time for some Juicy Cues.
Whoa!
Your favorite thing, Juicy Cues.
Ugh.
You love that segment? This is my favorite segment. So I ask you guys on Instagram to send me questions. Yes, this is a plug for you to follow me on Instagram because why not? So I'm going to ask you some questions and you're going to respond to me. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Kale A. Wright.
Is this
Callie
about our
A.
move?
Wright. No, this has nothing to do with this topic. These are random.
Okay.
Callie A. Wright says, have you given any more thought to paramedic episode? Answer in like one sentence.
I'm ready to go. I want to do it.
It's not safe yet, but we're going to wait. But we're ready. Next question.
Be honest. You're nervous.
Of course I am.
Understandably.
It's not responsible to do that
Yes.
episode right now.
Okay.
So, yes. Of course I'm nervous.
I want to go now. I think
Yeah.
it'd be so awesome.
But we
can't.
shouldn't. Okay. I don't know how to pronounce this name, but would you rather be stuck in a challenge accepted episode forever, just perpetually training for something difficult, or never be able to film an episode ever again? So filming, stuck doing one episode of challenge accepted over like forever, like perpetually training for one episode, I think, or never getting to make another episode of the series.
This is a weird and difficult question because both yield the same result. If I'm perpetually training for the same thing, then we're never releasing the video. So.
What's your answer?
Probably I would choose option 1 to perpetually train for the same one.
Really?
Because then at least I'm doing something.
I would say never film one again and then just come up with another version of the show that like hits most of our needs.
That's cheating.
Is it? I don't make the rules. All right, next question. This one's from our friend Nick. Nickster the Trickster. Also, I want to point out a few of our close friends submitted questions.
Ooh.
And they all happen to be about juice because of the name Juicy Q's. So Nick wants to know apple juice or apple cider, and our good friend Christina, double T, and Tina wants to know orange juice or apple juice.
Okay. Apple juice versus apple cider. I would choose apple cider.
I'm also apple cider. I'm a pulp guy.
Apple cider?
Mm-hmm.
That has pulp in it?
Yeah. It's a lot of why it's thicker.
Oh, I thought it was because of the mulled spices.
Well, that too. It's just better.
Okay. Orange juice versus apple juice, orange juice.
Yeah, I like apple juice a lot, but then in my later years, so recently, it feels like it has too much sugar in it. I know orange juice also has sugar, but like I feel like it's a little bit healthier for you at least. Great answers. Next question. This is from our friend Connor Yoho at Lego Lutz. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I don't care.
I think, do I want it to be a sandwich? No.
But it is.
Is it a sandwich? I think so.
Yeah, I think same with hamburger too. Do you think a hamburger is a sandwich?
It fits the same criteria as a hot dog, meat between breads. So, okay, it's your boy, Connor asks, YouTube or Twitch? Ooh.
YouTube.
Yeah, I would say YouTube just because we've done it more.
And, I mean, it's the centerpiece of everything for us.
Yeah,
but
Twitch is dope.
Love Twitch.
We love learning Twitch. Big Twitch fans
Super
now.
Fun.
Agatha asks, kids? ? No, we answered this question on our 2 episodes ago on the podcast. I'm bringing it up again because I love talking about kids. Yeah, I want to be a dad.
Me too, but mom.
You want to be a mom?
Yeah, I want kids.
How many kids?
Start with 1.
Starting with one. Start with a dog, then a kid, and then maybe another kid. We'll have to see. This is Friendster asks, what's your favorite juice? Thanks for the juice questions. So out of all the juices, what is your favorite juice?
What is my favorite juice?
My answer is it's just not juice. I really like Arnold Palmer's.
That's not juice. What the heck?
I just like, okay, you cut that out.
I would say, I really enjoy melon juice. Remember we had melon juice in Bora Bora?
Melon juice? Like
it was
watermelon
really nice.
juice?
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, that's not my favorite. I like guava. It's not my favorite.
I like pineapple.
Ooh, I really like grapefruit juice.
Ooh, that's a really good one.
Most people don't like that.
And you know what else?
really
Cranberry
like
juice
that.
on planes. Cranberry juice, but only on planes.
No,
that's a thing.
I just love cranberry juice. I would go cranberry juice.
That's a good one.
Possibly controversial. All right, I'm looking for a question that has some substance in it, because we answered enough juice-related questions, and I get it. It's very punny. Okay, last question from Jillian Swem1. What was going through your head when you proposed? I was just crying, so I don't remember. I was very teary-eyed, and I was just nervous. And then like a calming kind of happened, and then I said all the things I wanted to say. And I was like, I think I nailed it. But I was very I talked about this in that podcast too. I was very nervous about performing and like saying all the things that I wanted to say in the right way, because it was a big moment for us.
Yeah.
So I was I was a lot of crying. I got emotional. What about you? Like when I was talking to you and you knew it was a proposal, what was going through your head?
I think I also talked about it too, but I would say I was thinking, is this really happening? Where's the photographer? What's going on? Oh my God. I just kept telling myself, I need to remember this. I need to remember this for forever. I need to listen and remember what Garrett looks like, what it feels like, what it smells like. I need to remember everything.
What did it smell like?
The ocean.
Mm-hmm. With a little bit of sunscreen.
Yeah.
And that's our podcast. Hit us with the outro. Podcast.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. If you made it to the end of this podcast, congratulations. Mission accomplished. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya. Goodbye.